Hello, everyone. My name is Justin Long. I'm 33 years old and I live in Hamilton, Ontario. I've been following the Yellow Vest movement since the third or fourth week of the movement in France. I caught wind shortly after that it was coming to Canada. So I went out and I bought a yellow vest for me and the family. And once the United Nations Migration Pact was signed on December 11th, I was out at City Hall with the girlfriend and my three kids the following Saturday. So I started rallying on the 15th of December, and since then I've been out at Hamilton City Hall every Saturday since, with the exception of 1 week that I was forced to work. The first 2 weeks were great, and everyone was peaceful. It was a welcoming environment with coffee to be shared by anyone, whether it be the people passing by willing to listen for a minute, or the few police officers that hung around. But by the third week, Antifa and the media showed up. I don't think it's a coincidence that they showed up at the same time either. Antifa proceeded to call us racist and white supremacists, and the media followed suit. I was in the Hamilton Spectator that week, where they indirectly implied that I myself was a white supremacist, which is almost laughable because my girlfriend was standing next to me and she is Jamaican. I had come to find out about the RIC, referendum initiated by the citizens, through my mom on the second week of the rallies. If you're watching, Mom, thank you, I love you. I did a little research online and I learned that this was the solution that the people of France were advocating for. This was the real reason 80% of the population of France were out on the streets every Saturday. This was something I could get behind. The legal definition of protest means to bitch and complain about something, but ultimately accept it anyway. This is not what we are doing. This isn't just a protest where we go out for a day and go home hoping it changed something. This is an ongoing, countrywide rally. We are rallying for unity, we are rallying for awareness, and we are rallying for change. This is a movement. It's not going away till we get some accountability from our government. And it's also long overdue. We have been letting our government run amok with no accountability for far too long, and this has to stop. Not just in Canada, this has been happening on a global scale. Many countries across the world are having massive uprisings against their own corrupt governments. This is a first in human history, and the news is ignoring it. The news is ignoring this and downright discrediting this movement because the media was bought and paid for a long time ago, to perpetuate a globalist agenda. All the mainstream media outlets in the world are owned by 6 giant corporations. These 6 corporations control everything you see and hear on a daily basis. The corrupt globalist politicians do not want the word getting out about any possible solution that they can't control or manipulate. They want us thinking inside their political paradigm, where it's impossible to exact any real meaningful change. The RIC is the heart of this movement, where this movement originated in France. It had the power to unite that country. 80% of the population has been flooding the streets of France every Saturday for multiple months, fighting for their rights together as one unified force to be reckoned with. They are not divided by political opinion because it's irrelevant to them. They are bringing forth the answer needed. They are bringing forth direct democracy through the RIC. Since then, the message of referendum initiated by citizens has now being advocated for by the people of Ireland, Belgium, Holland, Sweden, and Australia. When will we wake up and stop with the political bickering? The convoy proved to us that politics corrupts everything, and it also proves to us that these corrupt politicians in the media will go through great lengths to censor the heart of the movement. The proof is that not once has it ever been mentioned on any mainstream media outlet by any of these above-mentioned countries. They are afraid of the RIC because it puts the power back in the hands of the people where it belongs. We need to take our movement back and set it back on track. It's not just the media that's to blame. There are also people within our own ranks. Various administrators to the provincial Yellow Vest pages that I will not name right now have tried to censor people in the Yellow Vest movement from talking about the RIC since day one. It has done a great deal of damage to the movement and the convoy. These people all have ties to one political platform or another. The people say they wear a yellow vest to fight for the same things that we are. One of the things Canadians are fighting for is free speech. I find it hypocritical, to say the least, to publicly state that you are fighting for free speech, but then go around behind closed doors and in private messages to censor us from bringing forth the RIC as a viable and logical solution. It's a solution that can't be denied, because Canada as a country has used several referendums throughout its history. And it's not political because there's no politician willing to even touch this subject. It's up to the people to raise awareness, and to be our own media to get the Yellow Vest and RIC word out to as many Canadians as possible. Learn from our mistakes and move on. There is another Motorcycle Plus convoy being set up for July. Hopefully it will be better organized so that these problems can be prevented. We will not stop. We will not be censored, and together we will prevail. We don't have to agree on every subject that we are trying to address, but I think it's fair to say that most Canadians can agree with the right to self-determination or the right to make our own choices. That's what the referendum initiated by citizens represents. Our rights to choose and have a voice in all matters that affects Canadian society. The RIC can set us free.